Salve, salve guitar community. I hope you've been enjoying your summer. I know I've been quite busy. I've been working on a few recordings and getting ready to perform in São Paulo next week. Nevertheless, this is a short lesson, hopefully short. It's never too short. You know how my lessons work by now. And this lesson, I'm working on rhythms, okay? Not just rhythms, but working on syncopation specifically, okay? Most music that you hear today on the radio and a lot of Latin American music, jazz, includes syncopation. And it's another way for you to acquire control over your movements, okay? It's getting familiar with how to behave with the offbeat is what's important. So I'm going to divide this lesson in a couple different ways. First of all, I'm going to present you with 8 different measures of syncopation. I'm going to clap them with you, count them with you, okay? This is an exercise that you should be doing on a daily basis. Some of you got a little piece of paper from me a while back with about 12 rhythms and then 10 other rhythms. First one is just with quarter notes and eighth notes. The second one has a lot of half notes as well. This one, it's still just quarter notes and eighth notes, but in the tradition of the dot. Okay, so with no further ado, let's go on the guitar journey together. So you should have on the screen 8 different rhythms, okay? And the way we're gonna do this, first thing we're gonna do is turn on the metronome. Right now it's at the speed of no mistakes. I'm going to give you 2 measures to just get familiar with the metronome. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and tricky. Couple things that might help you. First of all, remember, before you start anything that you're using the metronome, get familiar with the metronome, alright? If it's too fast, remember, at the speed of no mistakes. You notice that as I go along, measure to measure, I'm not always counting the 8th note unless I really have to, okay? This time, I'm going to try to count every 8th note. That's going to help you. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 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 3, and 4, and remember, your goal is to be together with the metronome, and not only that, make a connection between you counting out loud. That's extremely important. I want you to be counting out loud, the clapping, and the metronome. So you gotta put together 3 aspects. Don't even worry about the guitar yet. Okay, we're gonna get there. All right. Now, how do I apply these rhythms to guitar? Well, before we even get there, what I have to say is my goal as a teacher is not to only help you play the guitar, it's to help you become a better musician, okay? If you are able to play those rhythms and understand them and control them, most importantly, then when you have to play the guitar and you have to read the music, it's going to be easier. You're reacting to the music rather than learning firsthand or getting stuck with measure per measure. Because guess what? Some of those rhythms you're going to see in some of the pieces that we worked on farther off. Okay? So, for instance, take rhythm number 1. Okay? You have 1, 2, and 3, 4. And let's try to do, let's say, the spider exercise. So let me turn on the metronome again. Okay? So in reality it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, 4. 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 Do you get the picture? Take another one. Let's say take number 3. You do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you might be asking me what happens in number 5, where you have more hits. That's up to you. Okay, maybe you can do divide a scale. You can do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, I don't think I did that correctly. Let me do it one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and. You can do that. Okay, you can practice your strumming. Okay, let's say you want to do 1, 2, and 3, 4. We did that with exercise number 1. Now take number 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. You have tools to help you improve on the instrument. Okay, I would say I don't really know what to do with all those rhythms you gave me, or I don't understand all those rhythms you gave me. Please take them apart. Take one a day. All right. I don't expect you to go through 1 through 8 yet with no errors. Otherwise, it would be too easy. And the point is to challenge you and remember what we talked about from day 1 in our lessons, micro phrasing. Okay? If, let's say, measure 3 is giving you a hard time, or measure 7 is giving you a hard time, practice just that measure. Okay? Clap that measure, count that measure out loud, increase the speed, slow down if you have to at the same time. I think by now this is video lesson number 15, I guess. I don't have to go over every little detail with you, okay? I expect my students to somehow accumulate all that knowledge that we've talked about through online lessons and also through, when we meet every week, okay? You are a musician, you are a problem solver. Remember that. Well, I hope the 2 exercises I gave you help somehow and get you practicing. I will be in Brazil for another month about still. Again, my email is always open. I think most students, I gave them a week break or 2-week break. I didn't get anything from me. So this is the first thing you should be getting for the summer. Please practice everything that we've been working through, because one thing I will say, when I was in college and I was studying guitar full time, I really got better at guitar over the summer, because during the school year I thought that the teacher would always, you have to follow a curriculum, so every 2 weeks he'll be giving me something new, and it was great. But The problem was the old stuff still needed to work. So, and sometimes I didn't always have the time to work through everything. So when the summer came along and I didn't have new material necessarily, I would go through all my old material and actually truly masterize it. So I hope you're doing that. If you have any questions, you know how to find me. Otherwise, stay flame, especially now during this time of the year. Here in Brazil, it's actually winter right now. But winter in Brazil, it's still 65, so it's just nice out. See you in the next lesson. Ciao.